Shalom. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High. Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai Ba'asham Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere camp. And this is your brother Abawan back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai Ba'asham Rakah Kodash. All praises and glory is due, especially in the times that we're in. So, recently, I'm sure that y'all can have been seeing the news concerning the World Economic Forum, right? The Open Council of the Wicked, which is basically the World Economic Forum, and it's come up again. They have met again, Davos, Switzerland, right? And basically, man, I don't even need to listen in to know that when you see that many high-ranking devils, right? When you see that many elites of Esau, Edom gathered in one place, you know that wickedness is afoot, okay? The wickedness is going to be self-evident, right? Because it's all basically going into the same thing. What the WEF, or the World Economic Forum, is for is basically the main organization in which the elites of Esau Edom are using to push their NWO slash Great Reset. And I'm sure that you can see in the thumbnail that you had many people out there, right? Or, like I said, high-ranking devils: Donald Trump, Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, by the way, Elon Musk, right? The Prime Minister of Canada and the Prime Minister of Spain, I believe. And the reason why I put those devils in was because those are the only clips I could really find of the Edomite speakers in the World Economic Forum, right? So, yeah, man, these devils are already these devils are out here. The Open Council of the Wicked, out here once again, pushing, basically for the NWO slash Great Reset. So let's go to the book of Micah, because this is what you expect from Esau Edom, man. The devil in his actions, right? Or rather the acts of these devils, and basically them announcing the plans and the ideas that they have for the whole world, really, right? Like, for example, that Prime Minister of Spain, or President of Spain, or whatever, that was talking about how he was basically speaking about how surveillance is required, right? Which is part of your gradualism towards the MOTB. Basically, everybody will be tracked. Everybody online should have an identity or an ID card, which is going into your digital ID, which is, once again, like I said, right, your algorithm towards the MOTB, right? Something that is pushing towards the MOTB. And I didn't really listen to too much of it because, like I said, you don't need to even listen to what's really you don't need to listen to what's happening in the World Economic Forum. And let's make it clear, okay? This isn't me saying that you shouldn't even bother listening to what these devils are talking about. What I'm saying is that, of course, I'm still going to go back and listen to all of it, right? But this is breaking news, right? Something I just saw, so I have to do a video on it real quick, right? But like I said, you don't need to listen to anything that these devils have to say to know that it's wicked, right? That many high-ranking Edomites, that many high-ranking devils, that many elite devils of Esau Edom coming together in one place, you know that wickedness is afoot. So this is the book of Micah 2 verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. And that's exactly what these devils are doing, right? Not just with the World Economic Forum, but in all of their movements, okay? Case in point, Larry Fink with BlackRock, and how they are basically buying up homes, right, in America, Babylon the Great, and they artificially increased home prices because of that. And it's basically the same strategy that these AI data centers are using with this whole Ramageddon, right? Buying up all the semiconductor memory. So it's not just RAM they are buying up, it's storage as well. So RAM prices and SSD prices will go up. And then conversely, all components that require RAM and SSD, which is ironically enough a lot of components, anything that has smart in front of it requires RAM and SSD. So those prices will go up as well. So it's not just computer or PC parts that are going to go up. Your phone is going up. Your smart TVs are going up. Your smart appliances are going up, right? All these prices are eventually going to go up. Even your ordinary calculator, basically any of these new model devices, the prices are going to go up because the scarcity of the memory that is required to basically build these devices, okay? And it's the same strategy that BlackRock used in buying up homes. So now the prices of homes in the US are artificially inflated, right? Because BlackRock is buying up all the homes and then with of course using their subsidiaries, which are the banks that they own and the different corporations and shell companies that they own, and then basically renting out those homes to US citizens, right? But Esau is more interested in finding illegal immigrants and hunting them down, which is ridiculous because it just shows you the wickedness of Esau, Edom, and the hatred that these devils have for you Jakes, right? Because they are more interested in oppressing you Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the scattered Israelites that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Notice how ICE is only going after predominantly Jake, right? Especially the Northern Kingdom. They are more interested in oppressing you Jakes than actually demanding fairness, right? Demanding that their elites behave, or at the very least, share the wealth with them, right? So now continue on, Micah 2 verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage, right? And one of the main topics that was being discussed in the World Economic Forum was Denmark, right? It's like another Denmark, Greenland, right? And how Trump is trying to take it over. Of course, they couldn't directly address it because Trump was present in the World Economic Forum, right? So they had to stylishly say and allude to basically the strong arming of that Trump is trying to do with Greenland, okay? And that's basically what Esau is doing, because guess what? Greenland is technically not a property of Denmark, right? Because one of the acts did a video going into this as well, that the Inuit, they are also Gadites as well, right? And this is of course going back to the prophecies, a troop shall overcome Gad, right? Let's go to that real quick. That's in the book of Genesis, the 49th chapter. Let's go to that. That should be Gad. Here it is. Genesis 49 verse 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last, right? And basically, what I'm saying is that Greenland is not the property of Denmark, okay? Greenland is Gadite land, right? But these devils have colonized and conquered it, okay? Basically, Denmark conquered and colonized Greenland, but Greenland is supposed to be its own sovereign state. And now America, Babylon the Great, has set its sights on Greenland. And I've already done a video going into this as well. The reason why Trump is so interested in Greenland is because it is prime real estate for your AI data centers. And the reason why it's important to build up these AI data centers is because the AI will be the one in charge of processing the large amounts of information that will be passed when the MOTB is finally pushed, right? So these devils are actually, right? If you're actually paying attention, which of course, as men of the Lord, we always are, man. Even this World Economic Forum, you already know, brothers are sitting down watching the entire live stream, right? Watching the boring ass press conferences, right? And I even getting on that as well, because as the scriptures say, be not ignorant in any matter, whether little or great, and this is going to be a slow. And this is going to be hell, man, because just watching all those long ass videos, hours upon hours of these devils just spewing bullshit, okay, just to see if you can glean any important information is And but like I said, be not ignorant in any matter, whether great or small. Okay, but like I was saying, right, the reason why these AI data centers are so important is because the AI is required to process the large amounts of information that is going to be passed on the daily. When you start chipping the majority, you start putting C hips, right, the mark of the MOTB, or it's like the MOTB on majority of the earth. And that's why these AI data centers are so important, because they are a pivotal part of the agenda of Esau Edom, the NWO. And that's why, in the previous years, these devils have been increasing their production of semiconductor technology. Now, and that's why also these AI data centers are beginning to request or require a large amount of exactly that semiconductor technology to build the memory chips. Okay, so yeah, okay, I've read all of that. Okay, because yeah, this is how these devils operate, man. I'll be honest. The only precepts I have are just precepts cussing out Esau Edom and basically showing you how Esau Edom operates, because this is quote unquote World Economic Forum, right? And it's full of Edomites. You understand? This is the Edomites Economic Forum. That might be the title of the video right there. Edomites Economic Forum, because that's exactly what it is, right? Every time these devils meet up in this Davos, Switzerland, it's always devils meeting up together, discussing the fate of the world, right? Where is the Jake representation? That's the thing that's bothering me, okay? Where is the Jake representation? Where are the men of the Lord to curse out these devils and, basically curse them out for being the devils and for being wicked and for the wicked policies and agendas that they're trying to push on the earth? So now this is the book of Proverbs 4 verse 16, because Esau can't help himself. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. Like I said, man, Esau can't help himself. Call it the EEF, the EEF, Edomite Economic Forum, because the only thing that these devils are trying to push, right, is the agenda for the elites of Esau Edom. And I'm talking about the real elites, the ones that are hiding in the background and not showing themselves, right, sending their errand voice like Larry Fink, Donald Trump, Elon Musk. And the fact that you see these individuals, right, in the World Economic Forum should be enough indication for you to know that they are working for the elites of Esau Edom. That they are completely under the control of the small hard banking families, right? The Rothschild, Rockefellers, DuPont, Oppenheimers, and so on and so forth. And I even went into the DuPonts, and I think I went into the DuPonts, which they are basically the ones that are controlling the, or it's like not the DuPonts, like the bears, right? I think the DuPont also have a stake in the diamond mining industry, and that's where they get their wealth from, right? So yeah, basically controlling the resources, controlling the wealth that exists in this kingdom, and that's what the role the elites of Esau Edom play. And Musk, Fink, and Trump, okay, and the other talking heads in the WEF, what's his face, Schwab, Yuval Harari, they are all the front men, right? I can remember Squid Games, right? Squid Games, and he was the front man. So he was the front facing guy, looking as though he was the one that was in control of the Squid Games. But in all actuality, it was the VIPs, right? They were actually putting up the money, and basically they were the ones putting up the money for the Squid Games, and they were the ones that were getting the most entertainment out of watching the Squid Games. So these individuals you see on the in the World Economic Forum, they are simply front men, right, for the agenda of the elites of Esau Edom, right? And like the scriptures say, man, Esau can't help himself. Okay, that's why the scriptures say, "Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness," because these devils are incapable of being righteous, right? And you already know, man. You already know, right? And you already know. I don't know how long this WEF will be going on, but hey, we are going to be watching, right, and seeing what these devils are pushing, because we know that some unrighteous decrees, okay, will be pushed, during this World Economic Forum. So with that, I'll end the video right there. Once again, all praises Honor and glory unto the Most High. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai Ba'asham Rakakwadash. Wa Abad Babal. And I don't know if you can say it, but when I said I would end the video, that was exactly at the 14 minutes 44 seconds. 144. Call halal. It's like a call halal Yabash. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai Ba'asham Rakakwadash. Right. And through this written, I hope you are come and you are quite edified. Shalom.